Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I just dropped my daughter off at my beloved Central High School. I'm literally passing the parking lot where I had to mix it up with the bottom niggas at, man, in high school, man. That shit is wild, man. But peep game, man. We got to conversate about Deontay Wilder, bro. Like, I just, everything. I'm not mad at a nigga when they somewhat kick their opponent when they're down. You dig? This is, at the end of the day, this is the fight business. This is a hurt business. It's understandable. Not everybody is gonna go in there and be that, just be a gentleman before they go in the ring and fuck you up. Not everybody is gonna be that. That's understandable. I'm not even tripping that. Like, it is what it is. It just be like that. Not everybody is gonna be that. Not everybody is gonna be gracious in your defeat. Some niggas gonna be like, y'all think this nigga can fuck with me after you got your ass beat. It just be like that sometime, man. I don't think that makes him a bad person. I honestly don't. But it just be like that sometime. It just be like that sometime, man. Him and Tyson Fury, Tyson Fury was a little bit more gracious when Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz the first time. He was a lot more gracious, but as the years have progressed, he's kind of turned into the villain. Which I'm not mad at that, honestly. I'm honestly not mad at that. It could get on my nerves. Cause I'm like, oh, you bitch ass nigga. It could get on my nerves, yeah, but in retrospect, it's like, it's understandable because of the business that they're in. They're in a hurt business. Everybody ain't gonna be gracious. Everybody ain't gonna pick you up when you down and dust you off. So it's understandable, man. But what really bothers me is the talking points that he used to explain the situation. And that's what bothers me. First, when he said, they give you everything. They give you everything or whatever. And it's like, all right, what exactly did they give him? Everything he earned, he worked for. Everything he earned, he worked for, man. They gave Deontay Wilder, they gave you that belt. Bermain Stavern didn't even have the belt for that long. They saw the weakest link, they saw the weakest champion, and they went for it because they was looking to line up him and Vladimir Klitschko for undisputed. You didn't want to do that. I mean, you saw that. You give me $10 million step aside money and I'll not take my title shot. And you knew, man, they not finna pay you 10 M's because you not worth that at this time. I bet. We run that shit with Bermain Stavern. After you win the belt, your own manager says, yo, he's a baby. We're not rushing him into no fucking Vladimir Klitschko fight. Like, are you out of your mind? He's a baby. A baby. And with that belt, you was able to fight the level of opposition that was conducive to the skill level that you were at that time. It wasn't like you was fighting world beaters. Arthur Spilka, goddamn Gerald Washington. This is the caliber of competition that you was fighting. And you're talking about giving. It's still people still feel like Malik Scott laid down for you. And you want to talk about everything is given to you and easy, avoiding hard fights. What hard fights did Anthony Joshua avoid? That man tried to make undisputed with you and Tyson Fury on a multitude of occasions, man. That man, do you not remember 100? Like, there's no excuse to turn down 100 M's when you have not made that in your career. In your career, you have not saw 100 M's, bro. You could have got that in 3 fights. Everybody has every excuse to, oh, man, it wasn't Joshua first. So what? He fought Brazil. He knocked Brazil out in 1 round. What does it matter? Get in there and run that. You had every reason to not go and fight Anthony Joshua, bro. Anthony Joshua ain't duck no or not accept no hard fights, man. Last year when we was talking about finally getting an undisputed title match at heavyweight, Eddie Hearn was making all of the preparations for that bout. All of them. He was making all the preparations for that bout. He didn't duck none of y'all. None of y'all. People always want to bring up, it's the tank effect when it comes to Luis Ortiz, because Deontay Wilder beat him, and because Deontay Wilder was ironing everybody out at heavyweight that they put in front of him. Now, mind you, he only fought one top 10 heavyweight before Tyson Fury. If you want to count Bermane Stiverne as a top 10 heavyweight, but he only fought one. And they dragged that win because of how he did Arthur Spilka and Gerald Washington and Dominic Breazeale. You know what I'm saying? And Malik Scott and Chris Arreola and Eric Molina. These is fighters. These are fights he's having good competitive bouts with. He just gets them out of there. Him and Gerald Washington was having a competitive bout. Him and Eric Molina was having a competitive bout. Now, mind you, I think Joshua got rid of Molina and Breazeale in 4 rounds. It was clearly night and day who was the more talented fighter between those two. But you're fighting them, all right, whatever. When you come, I mean, he doesn't have a deep amateur background, you know, and he still is really, he's ill-equipped from a skill set standpoint. All right, word, you can have that. So it's understandable. But when you start progressing, or when you start, you know, when you get 20 fights into your career, you're supposed to start elevating your level of competition. You honestly are. And they wouldn't do that. They would just keep him fighting the caliber of opposition that he was fighting for 30 fights in, until he was a champion. I mean, he was still fighting unranked fighters as a champion, dog. No one needed to see you and Bermane Stiverne again. No one. So you get in there, you fight him, and it's like, oh my God. You finally step up with Luis Ortiz, which was a damn good win. But it's like, all right, good win. But what did Ortiz accomplish to the point where we can say that, yo, he's Luis Ortiz is this world beater? He is not. He's never been a champion. How wild is it that that your best win has never been a fucking world champion? And there's people who criticize Anthony Joshua for not fighting him, despite the fact that Anthony Joshua and his team sent that nigga a contract that he turned down. Nobody wants to speak on that, though. After the Gerald Washington fight, and his own team came out and said this, we turned it down. I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what else do we... God leave. Everything is handed to him. He's avoided hard fights. He's honored mandatory. I don't think people understand, like, when you become a mandatory, that means you have cut through all the, well, in most cases, you've cut through all the competition the division has to offer. You cut through all that competition to earn your spot at the top to gain a title. He's honoring those type of fights. Usyk was a mandatory. He didn't have to fight Usyk. He could have dropped that belt. We ain't doing undisputed. I'm good. And went somewhere else. He didn't. He fought that fight. And because of that, he's no longer a unified world champion. What are we talking about? He only chose the easier fights. There's no heavyweight in the division that has the workload that he has, that he's amassed thus far. No heavyweight can say that I'll put in more work than Joshua. How? He fought for one vacant belt and dethroned 2 world champions. Y'all want to talk about Luis Ortiz in this high type in this high esteem or whatever, man, and denigrate Charles Martin, even though Charles Martin was giving Luis Ortiz work. He dropped him twice. Sat him down twice. And we gonna sit here and act as if Luis Ortiz is just this boogeyman. It's like he's not. He's a good fighter. But to the degree I had him beaten Wilder the first fight, I was wrong. He's not this world beater like y'all are trying to proclaim him to be. He's not that. And that's just being honest about it. So everybody was expecting him to go out there and dominate Charles Martin. I don't even think he won a round until he got the knockout. That's telling right there. Joshua went out there and stretched that man out in 2 rounds. Charles Martin to become a world champion. Outlined him in chalk in 2 rounds. Luis Ortiz had to go through hell and high water to earn that knockdown. But he's only taken the easy fights. He's avoided the hard fights. I heard Drew Titan was talking just that, like, it's annoying, man. The amount of criticism that this man gets. It's understandable from his fan, like, your supporters are gonna do that. But it's like, yo, y'all don't even try to use reason and logic when it comes to your criticisms of him. Drew Titan is like, man, Eddie Hearn is a bad man. He's a terrible matchmaker. How? The fact that you're losing fights, it's a gift and a curse. You're challenging yourself. Joshua losing that first Andy Ruiz fight, all right, cool. Let me work on my back foot game. Him losing that first Usyk fight, all right, let me work on, upper body movement. Let me do that. And he looked good early on. Up into the knife, and he started to fade. Like, how is he a bad match? He's a bad matchmaker because he's not matching him up with 489th ranked fighters in the world, unranked fighters. Povetkin, Pulev mandatory, Usyk mandatory. Jarrell Miller, I forget what his rankings was in the division. I don't know if he was a mandatory or not, but he was top in the division. Can't get Jarrell Miller, all right, cool. Give me Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz don't want it, all right, whatever the fuck ever. Give me Adam Konaki. Adam Konaki don't want it, all right, whatever. Give me Andy Ruiz. He didn't waver. He didn't reach down in the slumps of the division and uproot a fighter from there. He went and fought another contemporary that was close to his level, on a world level. Fuck are you talking about? He's a bad matchmaker, and this dude is this and that. Just, it's ridiculous, man. Like, these are the same people who got mad with Anthony Joshua. He said, yo, I'm going, I grew up, watching the BMFs and the Larry Hoovers and all that. That's ridiculous. He has a mental lapse, a mental meltdown or whatever, momentarily. And he's chancing, oh man, ain't you supposed to be the good Samaritan, the man, and the dude that they was just chastising him because of his demeanor and how he acts in the public eye, because he carries himself in a certain prestige and light and respect. They was really trying to chastise him for that when he had that mental meltdown. It's like, bro, you can only keep a smile on your face for so long. In defeat, even Teddy Atlas said, yo man, he's too gracious in defeat. Sometimes it's just who an individual is. Like, yo, it is what it is. I'm going to try my best to hold my composure and not be in my feelings about this, man. Even though it's bothering me, I don't want to come off as a good sport. I don't want to come off as if I'm making excuses. I'm going to just, I'm aware of that. That's what he did. That's what he did. And then when he finally goes and throws a mini temper tantrum, he's chastised for being a human. Like, it was dope to see that man cry at the press conference, man, just to let motherfuckers know, man, I'm still human, man. I'm gonna react off emotion. I'm gonna get emotional. I'm gonna get mad in my feelings. We saw that with them college students, man. Like, I'm glad you on this path that you on. Let these people know I'm still I hear all the criticisms, and as much as I smile and I'm a lot more wealthy than they are, it still bothers me because there's some things that you just, integrity can only take you but so far. You ain't finna be like, oh, I got money, so I ain't worried about what the next man got to say. No, when it's a multitude of people saying that shit and you're seeing that shit, it's gonna have a visual effect on you. You're gonna bring it up in press conferences. I hear the haters, I hear them, I hear what they saying. Because you understand how aggravating it is to be in the position that you are and done the accomplishments that you achieved, the accomplishments you achieve, and still be denigrated for it because you didn't fight Deontay Wilder. It's literally the same thing that they do with Canelo. They're trying their best to chastise him because he hasn't fought 2 fighters who have not even fought this year. Both pulled out of fights this year. And don't have anything lined up in the time for the time being. I'm like, y'all are being ridiculous right now. God damn. It's laughable watching these dudes, you know, go and clap at this man. I'm saying 78 Sports said, yo, he should just now be fighting for titles. Just now be fighting for titles. Never mind he beat Joseph. Never mind he's beat 3 world champions. Never mind that. He should just now be fighting for titles because he lost to Usyk, arguably the #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet. Because he loses to Usyk, he should just now be fighting for titles. Usyk. As if that's another thing that people do. When you lose, it's like, yo, you lost. They completely disregard the people's skill set and rankings in whatever division that opponent is in. They just fixate on the fact that you lost to him. Canelo loses to Bivol, and it's just, oh man, he lost to a cherry pick. Since when? That's how I know you dudes don't watch boxing. When was Bivol ever a cherry pick? It's aggravating listening to you dudes, man. And then the cherry on top from this man was you start listening to, all you hear is the fake shit. The fake shit. Like the conspiracy theory to kill you in the ring. The conspiracy theory that Mark Breland spiked your water. That type of fake. Like, bro, the fake that Kenny Bayless was in on the plot as well. I don't know if people remember, but you know, they have footage. I don't even know who it was. I don't know who it was, but it was footage of people from Wilder's camp going and looking at the gloves for the next before the Fury fight with Wilder. And the commission is telling him, I don't give a fuck what Wilder is telling y'all. There's nothing, these gloves are not manipulated. And these niggas is really looking at these gloves like trying to find some excuse to they're searching for something to say that they're trying to cheat the champ again. Now, mind you, you had that fight in the same place you got allegedly cheated at, under the same commission. No sanctioning body that has allowed you, who has allowed you to fight the opponents that you fought as a champion, is going to go out of their way to cheat you. By that time, you're big business. Nobody is trying to cheat you. You're an investment. Even now, they're trying to put that belt back in your hands. They're trying diligently. Anthony Joshua loses, he gets dropped in the rankings. You lose by knockout twice. Joshua got outboxed. You lost by knockout twice. You're still #1 in the division. Like, make it make sense, man. Make it make sense. What lies is people telling you? What lies are you referring to about as it pertains to Anthony Joshua? Who lied to him and told it? Well, I don't get it. And your fans are really backing this. Like, they're so caught up in this conspiracy theory that you and Young Pharaoh and other cats formulated, that these niggas are really, they're so invested on this Tyson Fury situation that they feel like, oh well, if Tyson Fury is guilty with that, and is in fact in cahoots with Daniel Kinahan, then that kind of ties up loose ends as it pertains to this conspiracy theory that Deontay Wilder and company formulated. They're that invested in this. They're that invested in it, even though they have said they've never been able to substantiate any definitive proof of what transpired in that ring that they said transpired. They what anvil in the glove, what egg weights. What egg weights? You took a tox screen. You was negative for any sort of sedatives or anything. And you got the nerve to try and talk to somebody about listening to the fake. I just don't understand how this is, logical. It's extremely illogical. Extremely illogical. And y'all do this at the most inopportune times, man. It's not, like I said, I'm not mad that you necessarily are doing it. I'm not mad at it. It's just a little sucker shit that you're saying. It's you're trying to take all of your flaws and put them off on him. Him crying at the presser and having a meltdown is not equivalent to you formulating all these conspiracy theories. Something in the size of the shape of an egg weight. This is why my head swelled up in an egg weight form. Silence is golden. All that shit. Because you want to be a fucking orator so bad. You know what I'm saying? You in this a crab in a bucket referee and a disloyal trainer. All this shit, bro. You're just... This is wild. The fact that you are just not... If you beat Robert Helenius, that will be your first best win. Now, you've beat fighters that have beat Robert Helenius before. Yeah, you have. But the difference between him and Luis Ortiz is Luis Ortiz hasn't been in with the caliber opponents that Robert Helenius has been in with. He hasn't. You beat Charles Martin. You stopped him. Cool. You was getting outboxed, but whatever. Charles Martin lost to goddamn Kaunaki. He got stopped twice by motherfucking by Helenius. Your resume isn't night and day above his. The fact that Robert Helenius will be your best win if you beat him says a lot. So I just, Anthony Joshua is going to be good. He's still going to be the HNIC. He's still going to be the motherfucking cash cow. And for that man to come and throw a temper tantrum and come back to the ring, take the mic, demand the mic, give me the mic, man. I got something I got to get off my chest. You could do that as a boss. And speak your speak. It was cringeworthy to a lot of people. It wasn't to me, but to a lot of people it was cringeworthy. I get it, man. He's trying his best to cope with the loss and still be mature and be an adult about it, but he's still emotional. That's a hard thing to juggle. He's trying to express himself. His frustration is still uphold a certain level of professionalism about it. That shit is a hard thing to do. And he did it. Maybe he should have just said, you know what, fuck it, man. I got cheated. I was robbed. How the fuck? He should have said all that on the mic, not to Usyk, because he did. How did you beat me? It's about this and that and the... Come on, bro. You lost. It's all good. Walked out, came right back in. Nah, man, fuck that. I can't do that again. I did that in the first fight. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, man. Stop talking greasy, my nigga. Talk your shit, but do it within the realm of reason and logic. Because at this point, nothing you said was logical. They tried to lock me in because they knew he was going to lose the fight. Well, okay. So? Go fight him. We knew you was going to lose the goddamn Tyson Fury fight. You still got locked into that? Every excuse not to fight Joshua, bro. But Joshua was the one avoiding the hard fights, man. I can't take you niggas serious, man. Deuces.